Welcome back to another video from me, FPL Crusader. Well, Game Week 1 is here. We are less than 2 days away, less than 1 day away from kickoff in the Liverpool-Bournemouth game. So we've been waiting for 6 weeks after the game dropped to get started. Now, we've probably all made dozens of drafts. So let's have a look finally today at the best picks per position, budget, premium, and in the middle. I've also got my draft. Yes, I have decided on my draft, and it is a little bit different to other people, but it is what it is. I'm also going to compare that to my original draft that I did on July the 22nd when the game dropped, and I can tell you that looks a bit like Frankenstein now. So it's a good thing I didn't do it. But let's crack straight on to it, to defenders, or to goalkeepers. So we're going to go through goalkeepers, defenders, mids. We'll try and keep it relatively quick so it's not too boring for you. But it is important information if you're still trying to build out your team. Goalkeepers, I've had a look at Dubravka, Fullkrug, Sales, Sanchez, and Raya, and you can see the majority of people that we're going to talk about. I'm having a look at their price, their ownership, the impact they have on FPL, and their fixtures for Game Week 1 and Game Week 1 through to 6, so the first 6 game weeks. Now, difficulty rating is 5 out of 5 means it's a perfect game. 1 out of 5 means they're probably not going to get much out of it. So Dubravka, 4 million, 31%. Why is he 31%? Well, he's 4 million. He's playing for Burnley. They've got a good defense, and he's a half-decent keeper, and he's a starter at 4 million, which we don't regularly get. He had 5 clean sheets last season, 29 saves. He didn't play that much. He only got 44 points. Their first fixture is only a 3 out of 5. So if you're going to slam him on, that's the one. But whether or not he plays, I'm pretty sure he will. But it's still 50-50, so don't quote me. But their fixtures for Burnley on game weeks 1 through to 5 aren't that flash. 1 through to 6 aren't that flash. So I probably wouldn't have him as my number one. For Bruggen, for Brighton, he's 8% owned only. They had 7 clean sheets last season. The word is from their fan base that their defense is still a bit of an issue. He did, however, have 91 saves, so we should get some more bonus point structure and also extra points this season for that. He got 103 points, which isn't too bad for a keeper. Their first game week is tough. It's Fulham. They're at home, though, but Fulham are their bogey team. We always do well against Brighton. I don't know why. We just do. And then across the first 6, it's a bit mid-table. So for Bruggen, it's probably a rotation keeper if you're looking that way. Now I'm looking at some of the premium. So Sales, Sanchez, and Ray. You'd probably set and forget these 3. Ownership, 20% for Sales. Clean sheets last year, 13. In preseason, they had 4 clean sheets as well. So you'd expect that to continue. You probably wouldn't expect too many attacking returns from your Forest players. But their defense, you're probably going to get it. 91 saves last season. That's huge. 103 points. Sorry, I'm talking about Brighton now. 103 points, and the difficulties are pretty average. With Sales, he's 20% owned, 13 cleans, 120 saves, 150 FPL points. At one stage, he was the leader. Pickford finished all over him. 2 out of 5 for the first game, but for the next 6, I've got him one of the tops of my ticker at 5 out of 5. So I think that's really good. Doubling up on their defense is probably smart. The good thing is about their defense is because Milinkovic and Morello at 5.5, and the other 2, Aina and Williams, are at 5. If you do double up on them and they don't turn out to be that flash, they're at a price point you can easily pivot to someone else. I've got 2 of them. I've got Sales, myself, and I think Williams. I'm doing the double up. I can bench them. I've got half-decent backups. I really don't want to change my defenders this season. I spent far too much last season on defense. Sanchez at 5.0. I'm a bit iffy on him. That everyone else seems pretty broad that he'll be very good. 23%, only 10 cleans last season, 95 saves, 126 points, which isn't bad. But Chelsea's fixtures are good, but not great. And Raya, Arsenal, they got a tough one the first game week, Manchester United, but then they play a promoted team the week after that. 13 clean sheets, 86 saves, 142 points. Arsenal defense has been the best over the last 3 years. The fixture difficulty, however, they play Liverpool and City in the first 6. So it's pretty tough, and Manchester United. Let's have a look at the defenders now, the 4s and 4.5s. Steve is everyone's favourite new player. 4 million, 19% owned. He wasn't in the Prem last season, so we got no points for that. It's Burnley, so their fixture run's never going to be good because you expect Burnley to lose, right? I expect them to lose majority of games. I've got Scott Parker. He's not a good manager in terms of Premier League. I think he's a good guy, but I think he's out of his depth. Gahey, 4.5 million, 13% owned. He could be going to Liverpool. If he does go to Liverpool, give him a few weeks to earn his or secure his starting spot. And then you got a 4.5 Liverpool defender, and he can set and forget that for the rest of the season, barring injury. 11 clean sheets with Palace, 23 DEFCONs he should have got, adding to his 116 points. So he's a pretty good player. 2 out of 5. Palace away to Chelsea. It's a tough one. And then the fixtures are a bit muddy after that. Consa for Villa. Villa have very good fixtures. Consa's 24% owned. Clean sheets, only 8 last season. One of the issues with Villa last season is they kept on letting goals in. Maybe this is an Emery thing because Villarreal had the same record. DEFCON, I couldn't find DEFCON points on him, but he's not a great DEFCON player, but he's just there for clean sheets and to tick over, I think. So he's probably a good player to keep in your team. 103 points, which is okay. I mean, it's not great, but for 4.5, it's not bad. Game week 1, they've got Newcastle at home. Newcastle look tattered, and we don't know what they're going to get from them, so they should steamroll them. And then the next 5 after that are looking really good too. So they're one of the tops of my fixture ticker, or my fixture predictions, I should say, in terms of who's going to win. Compared to them and Forest look pretty good. Van de Ven, 4.5 million. All Spurs fans say they would pick him, but watch out for his hammy because he loves to ping his hammy whenever he gets a chance. 26% owned. 2 clean sheets out of the 12 games he played. There was no information about his DEFCONs. He simply didn't play enough footy. He only got 32 points. It's not bad this week. They're playing Burnley at home, and the first 6, they're pretty good for Spurs. So do you go him? Do you go Romero? Do you go someone else? Aaron Wan-Bissaka, 4.5 million, 28% owned, 6 clean sheets. We know how terrible West Ham are. Is he as good as Diouf? I'm not sure, but he's still 30% owned, 118 points, and their fixtures are okay, but I probably wouldn't go there myself. Now let's have a look at the premiums in defense. Tarkowski, he was the monster with DEFCON points, 44, only 8% owned. He's 5.5 million. They had 10 clean sheets last season. 105 points. Their fixtures are okay. I'm surprised that because he was the poster boy essentially for DEFCON, that he's not more highly owned. But Branthwaite is injured now, and it's not Sean Dyche Everton, so they're not going to be set and forget defense. Milinkovic, 5.5 million. He's very popular, 12%. A lot of people are talking about him. Not everyone's going to go with him. 13 clean sheets, 26 DEFCON points to go with his 145 points. He accumulated, so that's roughly 170. Well done. And their fixtures look good. So, I mean, if you've got him, you probably just set and forget. Let him play every week. The good thing is they're sitting behind. They don't have a lot of attack, so they want to defend. Even if they're losing and they're against a good team, his DEFCON points should be relatively high, purely based on the fact that they're just going to sit in. He's going to have lots to do, lots of clearances, tackles. Porro, 5.5 million. He's really striding up the field. Udogie at the start of the FPL season was supposed to be the number 1 from Spurs in terms of moving forward, but he's injured. So Porro's taking on those positions. He's also taking corners, according to the above average boys. So it's exciting. If you can fit him in, good on you. He got 6 clean sheets out of the 28 games he played, 98 points. Fixture difficulties are really good, as I said, for Spurs. Vardiol, the forgotten man, 17%. So a lot of the engaged community through social media aren't doing Vardiol. 17%, someone's on him. DEFCON, 10 points. FPL points, 153. He loves to score goals. He always scores goals. We just overlook it because we think, oh, it's City. He got lucky. But he scores a few goals every season. Difficulty fixture ratings are pretty good for City. I think he's going to tick over. If you had him in your team, it'll be great. And this man, 24% owned, Virgil van Dijk. He looked a little bit slow in the Community Shield. 14 clean sheets, 22 DEFCON, 143 points. I think he's a set and forget. If you've got him, you just play him every week and just see how it goes. 4.5 or 4 out of 5 fixture difficulty. They got Bournemouth at home. They should steamroll them. As I've said previously, it'll be an emotional first home game of the season. I think they'll start very well. Let's have a look at midfielders, and we're starting off with a couple of 5.5s and Anderson, and it does say Milinkovic, but it should say Reinders. Apologies there. Ownership for Anderson is 8. He got 8 goals and assists last season. People keep saying there's assists in him, but I mean, realistically, if you're counting on 8 goals and assists, you can probably do better. 5.5 XGI, so he's overperforming his XGI. He should have maybe got 5 or 4. 107 points. He should get a lot of DEFCON points in that Nottingham Forest midfield, considering the way they play. Reinders, not Milinkovic, but Reinders, 15%. He got 19 goals and assists in Serie A last year. He had 2 goals in preseason against Palermo. Because he's playing in Serie A, he knows how to play against Palermo. That's why he did so well. I'm expecting that to continue a little bit. I think that 19 goals and assists could probably drop down to 12. Either way, for 5.5 million, if you're getting 12 goals and assists and some DEFCON points, that's not too bad. City have good fixtures. Once again, he could be a good enabler. He could be a good set and forget. Illiman and Dye, he was a darling at the start of when the game was released. We saw the prices. He's on pens, 6.5 million, 13% owned, 9 goals, and he didn't score at 7.59 XGI. He got no assists, 114 points. So once he got into that first team, he really did well. The fixtures for Everton are okay, but we don't know what type of Everton we're getting. Speaking of don't know what type of team we're getting with Spurs, Kudus is 6.5%. Everyone's steaming into the bloke. 24% owned, 9 goals and assists. 9.64. So he's slightly underperformed with West Ham. I expect that to reverse now with Spurs. I expect him to overperform. So maybe that 9 could, if he gets into 15, 16 goals and assists, or 16 returns, as we like to call it, then it could be very interesting. 106 points. Fixtures are good, as I keep saying for Spurs. Rodgers at 7.0. He was 14% owned. Then people fell off him when he looked injured. He's training with the team. He will play. Whether or not he starts, I'm not sure. 19 goals and assists. Dramatically overperformed his XGI. Can he do that again? We'll see. XGI was just 11.7. 160 points. They've got great fixtures, don't they? Oh, it's a good bet. It's a good bet with Rodgers. The forgotten man of the premiums for midfield, Marmoush, 8.5 million. He's owned by 14%. He scored 8 goals and assists in the 14 games he was there, of 7.12 XGI. He got 73 points of the 14 games. If you times that by 3-ish, you get just under 200 points. That's not bad for your 8.5. If Bruno gets 200, people will say he's the greatest player of all time. If Marmoush gets it, people expect it. 200 points, potentially, but he got 8 goals and assists, and he's got good fixtures to start off with. It's not bad. It's not a bad investment if you ask. Bruno Fernandes. People are charging into Bruno lately. He's up to 25% owned. Preseason showed that he would have got DEFCON points in his preseason games. He's also the pivot for that team. So I think he'll do great guns, really. They got Sesko, they got Cunha, they got Mbuemo. He's got a bunch of people he can provide service to. 20 goals and assists last season, from 17 XGI. So he did overperform a little bit. We're looking at 174 points. The fixtures are they're not attractive, but with DEFCON points, his fixtures could go. Wouldn't matter. He should still get the points. Wirtz, the darling, the brand new boy from Liverpool, the record transfer, 35% owned. He got 30 goals and assists in the Bundesliga last season. Their fixtures look amazing. Everything went through him in the Community Shield. That being said, they lost, but still, he's put himself into the middle of that team. Everything goes through him, much like the person next to him. And I think he'll do very well. Cole Palmer is the most owned person in FPL, 63% owned, 25 goals and assists, 26 XGI. He underperformed his XGI, as we all know, towards the end of the season. What could have been? He's still got 214 points, and he's still got pretty good fixtures. I think Cole Palmer is about to have a great year. He was in good form at the end of the Club World Cup. And what we've seen from Palmer is a little bit different to what we see from the likes of Erling Haaland. Is when he has a tough game, he tends to step up. He's got that confidence in his abilities to step up. Erling Haaland, for me, is a bit of a flat-track bully. So when his fixtures are easy, you bang into him because you know he's going to bully people around. But Palmer can play against the frustrating teams as well. So he's very highly owned, 63%. That's getting into crisis territory if you don't have him. Salah at 14.5 million. He's got that extra 4.5 million. This is almost 50% more than Palmer. His ownership is 55%. Here's the FPL GOAT, 37 goals and assists from 33. A world record, 344 points. The fixture difficulties aren't too bad as well. If you don't have him, you need to cover him with probably the man in the middle there. But that's just me. That's what I think. Now, the majority of the community are going big in midfield because that's where the points come from lately. So what are they doing? How are they facilitating this? And they need some cheap forwards. Now, the most owned cheap forward is Mark Gu. He's so new to Sunderland that he doesn't have a picture of his jersey yet. So 4.5 million, 18% owned. His Premier League stats are non-negotiable because they're not even there. It's Sunderland, though. Will he play game week 1? It's a risk. He's an enabler. You put him on the court on your third position on your bench, and you just leave him there until you see him play, and then you can think about bench boosting. Maybe he can play game week 2 against Burnley if they're playing each other. I'm not entirely sure. Fullkrug at 6.0 million. The West Ham fans are going crazy for this bloke. 2 million cheaper than Bowen, and he's getting more shots than Bowen in preseason. Only 4% owned, however. He got 5 goals and assists from 6 appearances last season, or 6 starts, I should say, at 2.6 XGI. Get rid of that 174 points. That wasn't him. I think it was 17. I just pressed the wrong button there. But West Ham's fixtures, as I said earlier, aren't that flash. Mateta, the forgotten man, I think. Crystal Palace has been a bit of an avoid. Their fixtures aren't that flash, but they keep winning trophies. So 11% owned. He had 16 goals and assists, matching his XGI. He had 150 points just quietly, which is only 20 or 30 behind Erling Haaland. So that's not too bad. I had him on my team last season, and he got me a lot of valuable points. So he's hungry for more, and he wants to score. If Eze goes, he's guaranteed to get those penalties if he doesn't have them already 100% of the time. So I think once their fixtures go better, he could be someone we all go to. Chris Wood, 14% owned, 23 goals and assists last season, dramatically overperformed his 15 XGI. 200 points. Well done, son. He's a fellow Kiwi like me, but I don't see that happening again. So it's an avoid from me, but his fixtures look really good, so I'll probably pay the price. João Pedro, 7.5 million, 55%. The phantom menace of Brighton fans. He'll come on and score a goal, then you wouldn't see him for a while. 16 goals and assists from 12, 126 points. Fixture difficulty is not too bad. We saw in the Club World Cup, he can have a massive impact when he gives a damn about football. Let's have a look at the premiums in the forward line. Jared Bowen, the recent midfielder to forward convert, 20% owned already, 24 goals and assists last season from that 15 XGI. 193 points, so just shy of 200, one of his best seasons ever, and he's looking good in preseason too, but the 8.0 million is pretty tough to get to. Ekitike, 15% owned at Liverpool. He needs to hit the ground running. If they get Isaac, he'll be fighting for Isaac with a position up front. But if he's scoring goals at the same time, it'll make it very hard for young Alexander Isaac to get in there. 34 goals in League 1, I should say. Goals and assists, 4 out of 5 difficulty. I think they'll do pretty well, and I think Ekitike could be the back of that. We're about to see a change in Liverpool's tactics, I think. Not everything's going to go through Salah anymore. I think the likes of Gakpo, Wirtz, Ekitike / Isaac, if they get him, I think we could see a different tactic under Slot. Watkins at 9.0, 25% owned. Everyone's telling you need Watkins. Can you cover him? I'm not really sure. 24 goals and assists from 17, 186 points. They've got some good fixtures. He's 9 million. Can you afford it? You might want to get there. Coquerez, he's 9 million as well. 26% owned. There's a high ownership for a few of these forwards. 46 goals and assists last season in the Portuguese league. Fixture difficulty is a 3. And for the first 6, Arsenal probably have the worst. They play United, City, and Liverpool. So it's going to be difficult. But, I mean, if you just want to sit and forget the bloke up top, then go for it. Haaland, 14 million. He's not the most expensive person in the game anymore. He's still 25% owned. Those 25 goals and assists outperformed his 23.94 XGI, 181 points. He has one of the best fixture runs in the first 6. Erling Haaland always starts very well. If you don't have him, you'll be hiding behind the couch. Maybe you need to cover him. Can Reinders do it? Probably not. If you double up with Reinders and Marmoush, maybe you can get there. And then think about Aït-Nouri or Avadio. But realistically, he's going to score a few in the first 6. It's just, you need to accept that. All right, courtesy of Fantasy Football Pundit, we are currently looking at the clean sheet and fixture ticker for the first 3 game weeks. That's all I could fit on there, and the clean sheet odds for game week 1. Let's have a look at the fixture ticker first. As we can see there, I think the best one for me is Nottingham Forest. Look at that down the bottom. In the middle, Brentford, Palace, and West Ham. Tottenham also have Burnley, City, and Bournemouth. That's not too bad, but the City really takes it away for me. Where's Forest? Brentford, Palace, and West. Yeah, I just think that's a good one to go into. So Man City have Wolves, Spurs, and Brighton. I can see them doing well against all those teams. My concern with City is the fact that their midfield, Rodri's still not there. I don't think they've still found the key to unlock that midfield without Rodri. Liverpool have Bournemouth, Newcastle, which I don't think it's an orange fixture anymore. Not yet, at least. Not in the first 2 game weeks. Maybe after the international break when things settle down up in Toontown, but I think they're going to have a very tough start to the season. Then they've got Arsenal at home in game week 3. Look, I'm not anti-Arsenal. I'm not pro-Arsenal or Liverpool or anyone else. But one thing I've seen in the past is that Arsenal don't really go under Arteta anyway. They don't really win big games. They don't win trophies. They don't win championships. Everyone says it's going to be a very difficult game. I think Liverpool win this maybe like a 3-1. I think it should be relatively straightforward for them. Burnley have a good game at Sunderland, but then Sunderland will also say it's a good game with Burnley. So in game week 2, you just never know. Everton have Leeds, Brighton, and Wolves. That's not bad. It's not great. Brighton, Fulham, Everton, City. So that's tough. Every time they get to City, teams' fixture ticket odds go right down. And Manchester United have Arsenal, Fulham, and Burnley. Unfortunately for Fulham, Manchester United are a bit of a bogey team. Yes, they are generally better than us, but they always win it in the last bloody minute. Remember that Garnacho over the head free kick? Enough said. Let's have a look at the clean sheet odds. Tottenham's obviously the clean sheet odds, number 1. They've got Burnley at home in the first game week. Burnley are great at keeping clean sheets in the championship, but they couldn't score goals. You can guarantee that's going to continue. City away to Wolves, and the Wolves correspondents have said previously that their defense is shot, so expect City to run riot. Similarly with Liverpool, Bournemouth's defense has been decimated. But the one thing about that is that their defense was decimated early in the window, so you would think they'd have some time to, I don't know, plug any gaps, but they're playing against the champions, so good luck to them. Chelsea at home to Palace. I expect Palace to give Chelsea a red-hot go, so I probably won't be captaining Cole Palmer. Arsenal are next at keeping a clean sheet away to Manchester United. United will score. There'll be 70,000 people trying to see this new-look team. I think they'll score 1 goal. I don't think United will win, but I think they'll score a goal. Forest at 100 Brentford, expect that lockdown to happen. And then we go down to the likes of Brighton, Fulham, West Ham, Sunderland. These won't be clean sheets. There'll be goals here. Not a lot, but I think there'll be goals there as well. Same with Everton and Leeds. Okay, time's come for me to bow my head and show you my original draft for July 22, when the game first came out. You might be looking to yourself and thinking, what the hell is this? 55 points on the hub. FPL team reckons it's 53. That's if these players play. The positives, Aina and Sanchez in defense, not too bad. You got Salah in the midfield. I know we've got Adingra there as well, but he's looking to see where the goal is because Sunderland are always on the back foot, and they will continue that for the rest of the season. Haaland and João Pedro up front, so that's a positive step. And then Mark Gahey on the bench. But realistically, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, they've got an X through him because they've got a new bloke called Diouf who's supposedly better. Udogi's injured. Cherki doesn't have minutes. Neto could be struggling for minutes as well. Beto probably won't start. That's why all the X's are there. And Maatsen and Kluivert. Maatsen won't get starts, and Kluivert's injured, and so is Kelleher. So if I had set and forget this team from July 22 and just walked away, I would probably get about 13, maybe 23 points. So No Palmer was a ploy after what I saw at Club World Cup. But yeah, after a while of tinkering, I think my next team, the current team, and here it is slightly better. So I got Sells in goal. I got Dubravka on the bench. It'll be Sells pretty much all day, every day until Burnley plays another promoted team, depending on what Sells fixture is. I got Virgil van Dijk. Set and forget. I've got Nico Williams because I couldn't eke out the 0.5 to get to Murillo. And I've got De Kuyper, who's looked amazing in preseason. On the bench, I've got Steve, the 4.0. And I've also got Ezri Konsa because Aston Villa's fixtures are just that good. In the midfield, I have Cody Gakpo and Florian Wirtz. I do not have Mo Salah. I'm going Salah-less at the start of the season. I know he scores in every round 1 game, but this is just the structure I've got. Gakpo and Wirtz are only 1.5 more combined in terms of millions spent, and I think they can both cover him. Even if Salah gets 17 points, I think Gakpo and Wirtz can match him. And the fact that there's only 1 million difference is fine by me. I've got Reinders there as well. I've got Jorginho Rata, who could be playing up front. And I've got Cole Palmer. So I don't mind my midfield 5. I've got 3 good players. Jorginho and Reinders can be benched when they've got tough fixtures. I've got Erling Haaland up front. He's the captain. I've got Ollie Watkins. And I've got Fullkrug from West Ham there in the bench. So this is why I'm bench boosting, because it's a good bench boost game. Dubravka and Eastie from Burnley, they're away to Spurs, but they'll both get DEFCON on save points. So I'm happy to get that bench boost now. Konsa should get a clean sheet against Newcastle. If not, he'll definitely get some added points. And then I expect Fullkrug to do very well. I expect Fullkrug to score a goal against Sunderland. So I think the team is looking pretty good. The hub rated at 64.5. I've bench boosted it on FPL team. Thanks, Pete. And I've got 67.7. I'll call that 69. That's nice. The things I like is I got good price points. I got a 6.0 defender and Virgil van Dijk. I almost said Van der Ven then. And Virgil van Dijk. I got Nico Williams and I got Sells. These are all good price points. And number 4.5s, De Kuiper and Konsa. They're pretty much set. And I can move them around if I have to. I don't really want to, but if I have to, I can move them around to the likes of Anderson, Diouf, Wan-Bissaka, whoever takes off. No one's got an amazing first fixture that's a 4.5 that I absolutely have to have. And I don't believe West Ham's form is good enough that I absolutely have to have it. In the midfield, I got Gakpo, Wirtz, and Palmer. I think I've got 3 basically premiums there. Expecting a big season from Gakpo. I've got Reinders, who can do me some pretty good. He'll be another offensive threat, especially at Wolves. And then Jorginho Rata, as I said, he'll be basically playing as a striker, if not just in behind. And I expect big things from him this year. This will be his breakout year. He won't be at Brighton next year. He could even go in the winter transfer window. So expecting big things. As I said, Haaland, Watkins, and Fullkrug up front should all do very, very well. So that's my team. Take it in, soak it up. 92% on the hub. If you move it around a couple of times, you can get to 94. I don't know why it keeps changing, but it is what it is. I think that, look, it's important to get a good start in FPL, but if you don't, you can always make up ground. So as long as everyone has fun, that's all I care about. I hope your arrows are green and your differential score hat tricks. My name's Luke, FPL Crusader. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope your Gameweek 1 is full of happiness, less stress, and yippee-ki-yay, the footy's back. Thank you.